Sensei Beats.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Just Some Weebs, episode 2. It's your boy NoTaku Noel. Welcome Vague Senpai, also known as Eric, and Nitro's Corner, also known as Connor. So, just to start off with this podcast, my two fellow weebs here just finished the latest season of Seven Deadly Sins. So, why don't one of you guys kick off the conversation?
I'll begin. Yeah, this new season of Seven Deadly Sins, I feel like out of all the seasons so far, this was the most plot-driven and definitely excelled the plot farther than any of the other seasons. And that beginning battle 3,000 years ago with Meliodas and all the demons and angels, introducing like the angels, and that whole fight was just epic and even kind of sad too. And it got like this whole season got me like a new understanding for the demons and the angels. And it's really a moral gray area to decide like who's really the bad guy and who's the good guy. Like they really twisted the whole morality of the show a lot in this season. And I think that's probably my favorite thing about it so far. And also, I mean, man, they really left off on a cliffhanger. Like when it ended, I was like, don't end it, don't. Because I was so sure this was going to be like the last season or be like close to the last season because I haven't really like looked into the manga or anything.
Right.
But
Okay.
that's really my thoughts on it.
All right. You want to kick off what you want to say?
Well, I got to start off with a confession.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the last 2 episodes yet because I didn't start watching it till like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to binge watch all 24 episodes before today, but I couldn't get the last 2 down, unfortunately. But maybe that'll make them even better after we're done talking about it.
Okay.
But as far as what I have seen, I'll say this definitely, I agree, is the most plot-driven season out of. I mean, I don't really know if you can consider season 2 even really a season, being 4 episodes. But I definitely digging into the backstories of every character and seeing how the world's kind of gotten to where it is now with all the demons kind of controlling everything and Camelot and whatnot was really interesting to see. But I have to say, overall, I don't know if I was a huge fan of this season. I mean, I'm a big fan of like animation and just like the art aspect of it. And I don't know if they rushed or whatever to try to get all this information into the season, but there were some major parts that I thought really lacked in actual animation. For instance, like the fight with, I don't want to spoil anything. So with Meliodas and one of his teammates, I think you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It was a pretty, standout fight, but there was a lot of parts where I don't know. It was just really janky animation, and the costume designs of like the demons being just naked and turning parts of their their arms and legs and just coloring them black was, I don't know, seemed kind of lazy in my opinion.
Okay. I guess I'll take it off from here. I agree with both of you. From your perspective, Connor, I feel like it was rushed. Like some of the story, like some of the things that happened in the season were rushed. For example, I feel like that Meliodas fight could have been drawn out better,
right?
And could have, ended in a, specific, in a better way than the way it was ended. And I also feel like Eric said, it was really plot driven. Like you can tell, how do I put it to words? Basically, what I'm trying to say is, you can feel like the storyline building up to what it's going to be in the next season. Hopefully they execute that season better than the way they executed this season. Because like he said, it was left off of a cliffhanger. I did not finish this season happy at all. I felt like, it started off really good, and I'm like, damn.
The cliffhanger just, I mean, I can't get too pissed off at cliffhanger. Like it was literally on a weekly basis. Like just Stars chapter reviews, that's like all they are right now. And cliffhangers do have a purpose. Like they can actually make something really, really great. They're just annoying because like this season sucked me in. Like I out of all the seasons, I cared more about the plot in this season than any of the other seasons. Like it made me more curious to know what's gonna happen. And then they brought me up and then brought me down at the end with this fucking cliffhanger. And now I'm like, fuck, I have to wait and see what happens next. But if they execute the next season, like better than they did with this one, it could just make it all that much better. So do serve a purpose. I mean, they make me angry at times, but I can't hate on them.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, cliffhangers, I mean, they can, I agree, that can be good in a sense. Like,
Mhm.
for instance, like, you know how Attack on Titan kind of like splits up their seasons into 2 parts?
Yeah.
And then you don't really have to wait that long, maybe like a couple months or something. And I
Mhm.
feel like that can really like build up the anticipation. But I haven't seen the last episode obviously yet, but a big cliffhanger and then not really knowing when the next season's going to come out, I could definitely see that being upsetting.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. It's just like the way they went about the season just didn't. There's something felt like something was missing,
Right.
like in terms of plot, like in terms of plot.
Fast and Furious.
In terms of plot, I just feel like it really honestly could have been executed better.
Right.
The character development is like I want to know more about um what's the brother's name, the brother's name, the
What,
uh
Zeldris, that
men
one?
no the commitment of love, I think.
Oh, like Esterosa or
Yeah,
something?
Esterosa. Yeah, Esterosa.
Yeah.
I want to know more about Esterosa's background and why he's the commandment of love,
Right.
and I feel like Zeldris was, put out to be so much stronger than what he came out to be in the latest season.
Right.
Like they left with a cliffhanger in the second one, like him sitting on a chair like this,
Yeah,
and
like
then he
Game of
just
Thrones.
and he just being some weak shit in the next season. I'm like, damn. And
So
just
honestly, something about Seven Deadly Sins, it is an offender of plot armor in a way,
hmm
like a lot of animes, because there's characters that are so fucking OP, and then all of a sudden, like, what happened to all that? Were they ever really that strong? But like a few episodes, they were like freaking undefeated. Then all of a sudden, they're just like a little bitch now. Like this shit, it does do that. And one of the other things I was gonna say is I think last season was better for fights and
hmm
action wise. I think
yeah.
last season was more climactic, like action wise, but this season was better, like plot wise. It I think did more justice with the plot, but definitely. Also, there was a lack of one of my favorite characters in Seven Deadly Sins is Vaughn, and
hmm
Right. Yeah, he's sick.
he was kind of lacking in this season. And what's up with this polyamorous like relationship thing going on, like with Jericho and the other little fairy girl. He's like, I don't.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They didn't really like touch upon that because both of them were like kind of sort of like dating him towards the end or like fighting for him.
Yeah, the show does have some really weird ships in it.
Yeah, like well, obviously we all know from the jump, what's her name, the giant and King were gonna eventually be
Yeah,
together.
Deanna.
Deanna, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we all knew they were a ship, but
Yeah,
then you have like who was another one,
Dude, my favorite that we don't know is Merlin and Escanor. I mean, I haven't seen the
Yes.
last 2 episodes. So I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's the one I'm
um
rooting for.
that'd be pretty
let's
sweet.
just say my boy Escanor is a major simp. Like no, I would say Escanor is like my favorite character in Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
Like, outside of the OP Meliodas, because Escanor
Right.
he's literally the one person you would not expect to be the most powerful.
Yeah, he has a really cool power system where like
Yeah,
he can be invincible, but also there's like a time where he can be almost beat by anybody.
exactly.
So that's a
Yeah,
really cool concept.
he's like the
Yeah.
ultimate like virgin Chad because like
Yeah.
super fucking buff and like he talks a bunch of shit. Like when he's like super ripped, he's like a total dick too. Like he
Yeah.
talks shit. Like he's all like scrawny and he's like the most timid, like submissive character when he's not.
Right. I love it.
That is true.
Transformation is that.
The Chad transformation.
Yeah, I'd say out of all the sins, I'd say Merlin and Bond are my favorite. Those are definitely
Mhm.
my two favorite. Then probably Escor third, and what they did with Gother, I thought that was. I mean, they gave him like more background story, and I like him. I like him a lot, but
Mhm.
I don't know. He's like, I mean, I knew he was like already like kind of a puppet sort of, but now he's like a puppet with a personality that or
Mm,
crave get a personality. He's a pretty I don't know. I think he's a pretty well written character. I kind of like what they did with him. He's interesting.
right.
Yeah, loved his character, like his character backstory and the way he came to be who he is like today. Because for one, he was one of the commandments, and
Right.
he and first of all, the fact that his original body was in prison, and he came out and then died, and I'm spoiling. I mean, not let me not say too much. I'm gonna put a spoiler.
Right.
I'm actually put a spoiler thing, but anyway, so basically, I don't know. I loved his background story and the way
it was cool to see the real him.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like from the previous season when we found out who he really was, I was like, no way, what the hell? Like that was the one thing I did not expect.
Right.
And seeing why he was who he was is kind of cool.
Right.
But yeah, so who else are your favorite characters in
Dude, I would say honestly, the two of this season that I liked the most was Chandler and Kuziak or whatever, the two like higher demon people that train Meliodas and Zeldris. I don't know why. Something about them, like they just came out of nowhere and they ended up being like super powerful. That like literally, I mean, Chandler took on all of the 7 deadly sins besides Meliodas, and still, he handled it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think about what they did with the I forgot I'm really bad with names, but the Phoenix commandment where he like uses like the bird.
Is that Monspeet?
Yeah,
Monspeet? Yeah, the little firebird dude.
Yeah, and the girl like when they in the past when they went berserk.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys personally think about that?
I got a question about that actually.
Yeah.
So in the earlier seasons, did they use power level? Because I couldn't remember. Like
yes.
when that scene happened, they're like, oh, they have a power level of 50,000. That's why they can do this transformation. I was like, wait, did they just like create power level, or did they have this in the other seasons? I was so confused.
I'm pretty sure they did use power level but
Okay.
they didn't mention it very often.
Very often. I was gonna say, because that's like the theme of the season is like, oh, this guy's power level is 100,000.
Yeah, I heard about the power leveling, so they could power scale it, I guess, a little bit better because
right.
like, a lot of animes need power scaling, so you know how powerful they really are, especially like these style of animes that are like mostly combat driven.
Right.
But the thing about the power scale is like they make I forgot I looked it up. I forgot what they said about Meliodas' power scale, but it was like
changes a lot.
Yeah, it changes. It fluctuates, and then you also have Escanor, is like when he's a human, it's like one of the lowest. But then when he's like in his his sun form, whatever you want to call it, it's
his Chad form. Yeah.
His Chad form, like sometimes stronger than Meliodas, and I'm just like, but isn't Meliodas the strongest in the 7 deadly sins, or is it Escanor?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think you could argue either way in that.
Okay.
Meliodas is getting stronger and stronger as he's going more into the trying to be like the Demon King, but like, and he does. It's really hard to say because he can go like all over the place with his power.
Right.
Like he is usually the most OP, but then there's always one that's above him, and then give it a few episodes, and then he'll be above him. So
right.
I think that's just anime in a nutshell, but.
Yeah, I saw like his highest power level was like 140,000 in this season, and then like they said that like Escanor, when it hits noon, that he's almost invincible. So maybe he has like a small sliver of time where he's the strongest, and then the rest is kind of like Meliodas.
Okay.
But
what did you guys think about the fight though? Like that Meliodas was in. Like, do you think that was them? Like, I'm not gonna say who was fighting.
Yeah, that one.
But do you guys think that both of them were at their strongest, or?
I mean, I don't know if Meliodas was at his strongest at that point. I don't think so. But I mean, I at the end when the fight ends, I don't want to say who the other guy is, but he's kind of, I feel like he's reaching his peak right when it ended, and he just kind of like one move and it's over.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, Meliodas, we don't know how strong he could get, into next season too.
That's true. Yeah, the characters do surprise you with how you don't think they're as strong as you thought, and then next season, like, oh, they're way stronger than I thought, or they just like come out of nowhere, or there's like something happens to them and they get stronger, or there's some plot derivative as to why they're so strong now. Like, really, really hard to say.
Right.
Okay. So I was thinking, guys. So for me, I was I was watching Trash Taste, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they grew up watching anime and who they socialized with and things like that. So I was curious, how did you guys come up to watching anime, and did you guys have any necessary weeb friends growing up, or did you guys were you guys a closet? Were you guys open about it?
Okay. You want to take this one first, Eric?
Yes, I will, because I have a lot of story behind this. Well, when I started watching anime, there was cartoons like Dragon Ball Z and Cartoon Network, like having these animes on there, and then I discovered Adult Swim. And when I was in elementary school, I had this friend introduce me, because that's right when Naruto first started airing, and he showed me a bunch of other animes. Because his sister was like a huge weeb, and like that's how I got introduced. And also, I think like Tech TV and like the Science Channel would have anime play sometimes. I think like they played like Rave Masters and other just like random animes, and I would watch that all the time. And like out of all my friends, I had one friend that was like into anime. We stopped being friends like after the 6th grade. We just had a falling out, so like I never really talked to him again. But then after all of my friends that I've had from that point, I've had no like weeb friends since like until like high school, and I started going to like parties and meeting more people. Like I had not a single weeb friend. Like the most weeb friend I had was like, oh, Dragon Ball Z is the best. Oh, that's cool. Watched like 2 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist at like on Adult Swim or something. Other than that, like I was like the only weeb, but I've never been closeted about it. Like anything I'm about or anything I am, like I never hide it. I'm always been real with about like what I'm into and who I am as myself. And like even when I told people like I was a furry and shit, I got put on blast. People made fun of me for that, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm rocking this shit out here. Like you're out like doing your thing, and just I don't know. I'm not ashamed of anything. So
good. Yeah. Right.
What's up?
Yeah. I mean, mine. I think honestly, I kind of was like, in a sense, I guess if you'd say closet anime fan, because I grew up in such a small town where literally like, I mean, everybody knew everything about everyone and nobody liked anime at all. So I just would watch it by myself at home. And then like, I guess I had a couple friends where like I tried to make them into weebs, but I don't know if you guys have ever tried, but if you tried to force somebody to watch anime, they don't like it. But yeah. So, I mean, I probably wasn't until high school and like college even when I really fully just kind of embraced my weebdom. I just let, anybody said anything about it, I didn't care. I just was like, yep, oh, this is my guilty conscience. I love anime. And like started getting posters, figurines, anime, like anything, shirts, t-shirts, sweaters. And from there, it was just, I still didn't really meet that many weeb friends, and that's why I started YouTube. Hopefully I can meet a few, maybe do some podcasts with them, wink, wink. But that's where we're at now.
Okay. So I guess I'll take the turn now. So me personally, so I originally started watching anime because of my brother, and I always watch him. I think he's 24, 25 now, something like that. I forgot his age, but so I would always see him watching anime like on the Funimation channel, and like no, Anime News Network or something like that. I forgot what it was on cable. But I would always watch him watching anime, and I would watch it with him. So this was when I was like 8 years old, and I would be able to go like Comic-Con and stuff like that with him, and I would bring back figures. So I wasn't necessarily a closet weeb, but growing up, like I knew nobody.
Right.
Kind of like you. I kind of like both of you actually.
Yeah.
I knew nobody that liked anime until I learned that one of my friends, like Bleach, like Dragon Ball Z. But then, I was like, yo, let me show you an anime. And I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of B Got a HK, but like he loved it. Like he loved it. So from there, I just kept giving him anime recommendations and over and over and over, because this is during the time where I would just binge watch anime all night, every day,
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I would tell him every single anime I would watch, and he would watch the ones that he thought were interesting, and I was his anime go-to guy. So this is my friend from like middle school to high school. We graduated middle school and high school together. So like,
Cool.
yeah. So as the years went on, I met more people that liked anime. I think he grew a little distant, but that's
Right.
okay, because that's human nature.
Happens.
Yeah, it does. And then in my college now, I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. So I joined the anime club, right?
Hey, I mean, I wanted to do that. I didn't even have one at my
It was
college.
so cringy, man.
It was it.
Yeah, it was just kids screaming, playing on their Switch, and I'm just like, and they would watch anime together. I'm like, you guys just like watch random episodes of anime. You guys never discuss it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because when they're watching, you can't say anything. You have to be like quiet, like you
Right.
drop a penny quiet. And I'm like,
Somebody's like, shut up.
yeah. And it's like, kind of want to discuss the anime. What you guys think about it? Because we watched Darwin's the beginning of Darwin's Game together. I'm not sure if you guys heard of it.
You said Darwin's Game?
Yeah, Darwin's Game.
I've heard of that. I haven't checked that one out yet, though.
So we watched like the first 2 episodes of that. Didn't discuss a single thing about that. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it though. I want to talk about it. And it's just like, one of my math classmates, he actually was into anime. He's in the Discord server. His name is Rudy. And like, he cannot join this anime club. He's like, yo, they're just buck wild. So so I mean, we talk about anime together. So it's just like, I never kept quiet about what I was into. So I just feel like, be open about what you like. Fuck what people think, right? So
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, look at my room, man.
That's right. That's the next level of weebdom.
Exactly.
I got 2 sides in my room. I have like my uwu, like weeb furry side, and then I have like my whole side right here is just all metal band covers and like shit and getting decapitated and like all death metal and like brutal death tech, like punk, grindcore. It's like all just bands on this side.
Okay. Okay.
So I actually like growing up. I don't know if everything like with you guys kind of relate with like music. Like when I was growing up, I was like the only like metalhead growing up. I had no one I hung out with, listened to any of the music that I listened to, or because I'm into like more underground bands. Well, I do like some popular ones. Like I actually have a very wide range of music, but like metal was something that like I felt like was like anime to me. Like
Right.
I was out there listening to like any single band. Like I put on a band at any function, any party, they'd be like, dude, we turn this shit off immediately. If I put on some like Dying Fetus or something, they're like, okay, no,
Yeah.
the same thing with anime. I'd be like, people be I'm like, I'm gonna put on some like One Piece or like put on this, and then like 10 minutes later, they're like, can you change this?
Yeah. What are we watching? Yeah.
Yeah, or listening to. So like that was one thing I related to, and then moving to Phoenix from a town of 20,000 people, I was like, all these shows and these concerts, I got to meet all these musicians. I was like, what the fuck? Like I used to have to drive to San Francisco to go to like any show from where I live, which was like a 4-hour drive.
Right.
I'm living in a big city. I'm like, there's always a show going. Well, not anymore, but like there were shows going on around me like all the time, and like all these bands I like were playing down the street from me.
Right.
So what, you live in California, Eric?
Oh no, Phoenix. I used to live in California. I used to live in a very small town in California, up in northern Central Coast area, and then I moved to Phoenix about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Cool.
So I want to say, like, because I'm going to LA next year for Anime Expo. I was supposed to go this year, but pandemic.
Yeah.
But like, I want to say, like, have you guys ever been to? I know Connor's never been to a convention, but
I haven't. I want to though.
Have you ever been to a con? No. I recommend it so much, guys. Like, I honestly
we'll have to go meet up at one.
Hey, and I sent you the prices for the Anime NYC tickets.
That's right. Yeah.
Me and my friend Tommy were planning on going, and LA is only like an 8-hour drive. So it's not that long.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like, it was unfortunate that Anime Expo got canceled because that was like amazing content for me to do. But it kind of was like a blessing because this is before I had an actual what's it called, camera. I was using my phone the whole time.
Right.
And like I had this little flash drive that I used to record. I don't know where it is anymore, but somewhere. It's like I can plug it into my phone and my computer. So, but it's like I kept having issues with it, and it just all my videos just kept getting corrupted, and it was like
Really?
it was a pain.
That
So I
sucks.
finally like saved up for a camera, but yeah, it's like I like went, for example, last year I went to Anime NYC and I recorded with my phone, and for somehow my phone got stuck into a boot loop, and I had to reset my phone. I lost all of the data, like all the videos that I
Oof.
recorded. So it was just like it was so painful because like I wanted that so badly.
Yeah.
But now that I have an actual camera, everything's gonna be it's gonna be so much easier, you know. Going with my girlfriend, so she's gonna be in the video too. So
There you go.
it's gonna be a
What'd you
fun.
get for a camera?
I got a EOS M50 Canon.
M50. I just got an EOS 70D, I think it is.
Okay.
I love it, dude. It's what?
Is it mirrorless?
It's not mirrorless. No, it's an older one. It's from like 2014, but it has like this really, really good auto tracking feature for focus, which is nice because I'm not like really good with cameras yet, so I don't really know how to do all the manual settings. But
This camera is actually really good for that because I also don't know how to do this. Is my first camera ever, so I'm using the movie feature, the movie setting feature.
right.
And this allows me to actually edit my like out of them, like outside of them, because I have a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, so I
Oh,
can
yeah.
change the dB on the back of the mic and stuff like that for my audio.
That's cool.
And so instead of also on top of that, I can edit the audio in my actual camera too.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah, that
Nice.
honestly helps a lot. That's why I'm like bummed that I can't use my mic, my video mic from on my laptop.
Oh, you can't hook it up to a laptop?
Yeah, I did, but like Eric said, he couldn't hear me at all. I'm like, damn.
Oh, right. Yeah, you gotta get one of those interface for the mics because then you can change all your gain and everything.
Yeah,
I think that one you can get them used for like $80 now.
might as well just buy a regular mic with that
Yeah,
with that
true.
cost. But yeah. So if there was like one, you know, person or like not person, but if there was like one anime that you would recommend to people, what do you guys think the best anime you guys would recommend to people would be?
You saying like somebody that's never seen an
Like
anime
never seen
before?
like first anime. What do you think the best first anime to recommend to somebody is?
Huh. Let's see.
I would probably say, I would say Death Note.
Death Note.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
One anime I've gotten other people to like anime with, like that one
Right.
just sucks you in. It's not like other animes or how other people would perceive animes to be. That's actually the anime I've gotten other people to become fans of anime watching. Like, I mean,
Right.
it's one of the best introductory animes you can really show anyone.
Yeah. I think that would honestly be my first one too. But since you've said that, I would go after that. I would probably go Cowboy Bebop, honestly.
Oh wow, classic.
Yeah, because I'm a fan of classics and I'm a fan
Mhm.
of great like animation, like the
Mhm.
actual animation itself. And I think that one's kind of like Death Note. It's not very anime-y.
Mhm.
So it would be I think it would be a good introductory one where then you could segue into some stuff that's a little more like what Western people would think of as anime.
Okay. Okay. For me, I would have to say either like I know not a lot of people like these like this kind of anime, but either Samurai Champloo
Yeah, that would, yeah,
or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Not the
right.
not the original, but the Brotherhood specifically.
The Brotherhood. Still haven't seen that.
You have to, bro. You have.
I've seen the original, but I haven't seen
The
that.
amount of like the quality difference between the original and Brotherhood is just
Yeah,
out of the world, out of this world, man.
Metal Alchemist was one of like the first animes I really got into. In fact, I have the mangas back there, and I remember buying those when I was like 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I was back when like the original Full Metal Alchemist was on Adult Swim. I started just picking those mangas up at Barnes and Nobles, and I was like, wait. After like a few volumes, I'm like, wait, this isn't even the same. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was just
Yeah.
so devastated. I was like, have I been being like lied to this whole time? Like, Metal Alchemist, like what the hell? And like, I was like coming to realization. I was like, is all manga just this much different than the anime? Like, is the anime been lying to me this whole time?
Wait, so Brotherhood is Brotherhood more like true to the manga?
It's like basically like just to the manga, to almost a like it's just like the manga almost.
Okay, so the original kind of is more like filler, non-canon then.
All pretty much not completely different.
And it's not even just the content that it's not even just like the amount of non-fillers that they have in the anime. It's the animation style. Everything just it feels newer. Like imagine, have you guys watched Evangelion?
Yeah.
Watched what?
Evangelion.
I have not actually.
But yeah,
it was hard to find for a while, but isn't it on like Hulu now or something?
I think so.
Okay,
But
I'll have to check it out.
It's like watching Evangelion versus watching the Evangelion remake, the movies, like that's compiles of the whole season basically. Okay. But yeah, it's a refreshing feeling in terms of the Brotherhood compared to the original.
Okay.
So
I'll have to check it out because honestly, I really liked the original anime. Like, I remember was it the Chimera? No, the Homunculus that the guy was like creating. Yeah, when he did that with like the little dog and the kid.
Oh gosh,
dude, that was one of like the saddest, like darkest moments. I remember that was like the first time I watched like a truly dark moment in anime. I was like
so young when I first watched that. Didn't leave out of the other Full Metal Alchemist. I was happy that they left that in.
Yeah, I made a top 5 saddest deaths in anime, and that was like number 2 or number 3 because that was what were the names?
I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched that.
It's like it's so heartbreaking because when she started calling for her dad, I'm like,
yeah, dude, I think I definitely shed a tear during that.
That was like, ooh, a punch to the gut. I'm like,
yeah,
shit, man.
Or when Hughes died, that was pretty sad. Sad early, and like I thought he was gonna have more.
Oh, that's true. That's true. My girlfriend actually cried when she saw him die because she loves him in the anime. It's like
such a good character. There's this meme. I feel kind of actually have a video. I feel kind of. Have any of you guys seen JoJo's Part 5?
No,
I've only seen
Part 4. I'm up to Part 4.
I'm on part like 3, I think.
Okay. The Egyptian one.
James, like it was the ending Stardust Crusaders with Jotaro.
That's the one I'm on right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't made it to that one yet.
Okay, I'm probably on part 2. Because I'm all caught up on the JoJo's anime, and on part 5, which JoJo, but every single part feels like a different anime and a different show. Like it gets so much different. Especially part 5, like in part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable too. Like it doesn't even like it's still JoJo's, but it feels so much different. Like part 1, part 2, and part 3 were kind of there, but like all the parts from there just feel like totally different. They're still really good, but like everything looks a lot different. The characters also are a lot less muscular too. Like they don't look like they're on like steroids.
Yeah, I saw the character designs get so different. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I said you asked if we were on like Stardust Crusaders. No, I'm on the part with Josuke, not Jotaro.
Oh, so you're on like Diamond's Unbreakable.
Is that Diamond's Unbreakable when Jotaro is looking for Josuke? Because that's the part I'm on.
Josuke, yeah. And then part 5 is with Gennaro Giovanna.
Okay.
And part 5 has probably the best anime outro to any anime ever. Have you ever heard the song "Freaking You" by Jodeci?
No. I know Jodeci, but I've never heard that
song. I would have to hear it. Yeah, I can't recall.
It's basically some sex R&B, and like the song's called like "Freaking You," and it's really catchy, and it's like some old some 90s like R&B, and they play it as the outro to JoJo's. It just has like the JoJo's characters like posing and just like sliding across the screen while it's like having this like very sexual song play in the background, and it doesn't fit like the story or anything, but it just goes perfectly, and it's inspired a bunch of memes. And there's a meme where like they take every anime outro and just add "Freaking You" by Jodeci just because it's like such a sexual song. And put it to every anime outro, or they put it to anime deaths. I actually made a compilation video of sad anime deaths and put "Freaking You" by Jodeci in the background. because it like has a very seductive intro. Like right when it begins, it's like it has like this bass and this mood, like very moody, like sexual grasp to it. So like you can just like put it like towards a bunch of unfitting things, and it's hilarious. And I couldn't post it because unfortunately the music I got for it was copyrighted, so I couldn't post it.
Right, it always is.
It's always the copy. I made a try not to sing anime edition.
Yeah.
The whole video got blocked. I'm like,
Really?
oh my! You know what it was? It was Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's opening. The
Really?
Yui, again by Yui. It's because it's copyrighted by Sony.
Oh,
And
that was a big one. Yeah.
One of cosplay videos got copyright striked in like most countries, not
Really?
America, but like my JoJo's cosplay tutorial video got blocked in like most countries just for one of the songs.
Jeez.
It's so infuriating just for the fact that you can't, make what you want because of copyright. It's like it's not even like you're trying to make money off of their content. It's just,
Yeah.
you enjoy it, so you want to use
Exactly. You just want to do more.
it. Exactly. It's
Did get an email though on one of my videos, on one of my Gretzko videos. I got an email from YouTube from TechWix saying that like your video will not be monetized. I'm like, well, I don't even have 1,000 subs, so I can't even monetize it. I don't know why you send me this in the first place.
Yeah.
Your video will not be monetized. But they're like, but if you do get monetization activated on your channel, we can have it. So your video will have ads on it, but the ads that will be placed on it will all go to Netflix and they'll make money. I'm like, oh, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, whole ego fake that, and like it was so condescending to it. Was like, yeah, but you'll get ads, but we'll put them on there whether you like it or not, and all the ad revenue will go to Netflix.
Just think about YouTube. YouTube makes it so like nowadays YouTube makes it so much harder for you to get your name out there because like back when you guys know who Dashi is?
Who?
Dashi.
No.
No? Okay. Well, let's say back when PewDiePie, for example,
Okay.
started
I know him. Yeah.
started YouTube, he has it was so easy to get views and subscribers. But nowadays you have to follow YouTube's algorithm to
Right.
get your video suggested, things like that. And it's like, why can't I just make the content I want to make without having to worry about nobody clicking on my thumbnail and things like that, because you don't want to put my videos under other people's videos and things like
It's
that.
tricky. Yeah.
To really do that. One thing I found is with manga, there's like no copyright or no nothing with manga.
Right.
I mean, shit, like I've gotten like any partial block or anything like that. I mean, I have a guy that does free beats that I use, and he just lets anyone use them.
Right.
So I just use some of his audio, but for all the manga videos, and one of my other friends who does a lot of manga related content, he has a lot of stuff. He has videos that have like 300,000 views and shit, and he gets all ad revenue and everything. It's just all manga slides, and gets full monetization, everything, and there's no restriction for mangas, even recent or really popular ones. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If I ever do get enough subscribers and popularity and shit, I usually stick with manga videos anyway. So
yeah.
There was a sub that asked me on Instagram if I would ever do a manga reading or an anime reaction video. I said no, I can't do an anime reaction video because that video most likely would just get taken down.
Right.
But
that's why I've done some not reaction videos per se, but if a new episode comes out, I would just say what I think about it and then just have maybe a couple second clips or GIFs or something from it. But I remember one video, this was back when I had maybe 15 subscribers. It was one of my first videos. And I had a clip that was over 15 seconds just playing in a corner, and they copyright striked my whole video, and I was
they give you a copyright strike?
Yeah, it was I had 15 subscribers at the point. I was like, okay, cool.
It's crazy because I haven't had a single copyright strike. I think I had about 5 or 6 copyright claims, but I've never had a copyright strike.
Yeah, they wouldn't even let me make the video public until I took out the strike. So I did cut the video down to less than 15 seconds or something.
Yeah, I'm happy. Most of the content I have planned on doing is safe. I actually had someone reach out to me recently and review their comic that they did, and all.
Yeah, I saw that video. That was awesome.
They reached out to me and had me do a video and a review on that. So I'm trying to actually see if I can get more independent artists or more people who do comic writing or like manga or even stuff like that, and like try to send it my way, because I would like to get more into that, because that was a lot of fun. I discovered a lot of new artists and people that way too.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the way you're doing it with your channel is really cool. It's like you're getting a good following pretty quickly, and like I've noticed other channels that like you do like chapter reviews, right, of like B stars and stuff like that. I've noticed like other channels that do that. It's like they get stuck into only making content on like that one show, and like if they do any other video, it gets like 50 views or 100 views. You've done it a cool way where like I feel like you do other content on similar shows or different shows, and you still get, you know, organic, real views, which is cool.
Yeah, that was cool, because I didn't want to just turn my entire channel into a B-Stars channel.
Yeah, which it's a thin line, you know, at the beginning where like, you know, you got to break it real quickly.
You know, the thing about like, so you do, Eric does, you know, manga reaction, things like that. And, you know, my channel, people seem to love my tier list videos. Like they love it. But my last, like my waifu tier list somehow has like 540 something views.
Yeah,
I don't know. And it's crazy because like on my one of my posts, I, you know, like somebody commented, "Oh, you have underage girls on your thumbnail." I'm like, first, like it's kind of annoying because if you actually like do your research, Yui from K-On! Is 17 or 18 years old, most likely 18, and Taiga is an 18-year-old senior. So it's like people, you know, and this is the way anime is. You know, I wouldn't claim myself as a lolicon because, you know, I don't physically get attracted by, you know, lollies, but you know, it's just those two are from some of my favorite anime growing up, and people just, you know, figure that, oh, if you put this on your thumbnail, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna leave a dislike on your video. I'm just like, are you serious?
Yeah. People are, haters are always gonna hate.
Yeah, it's like,
even I only have like I'm not even at 100 subscribers yet, and I've still had some haters. So there's always around.
Yeah.
in
like actions I've got. I only had a few. Like I'm surprised I haven't gotten more. Like mostly I just get like creepy DMs. I get a lot of creepers who freaking like trying to like ask me like sexual shit, but other than that, you know.
You know, somebody DM'd me asking me to role play, and I'm like, what? have me a little stuck. But you know, there's this one person that commented on my I told Eric this earlier before you came home.
Yeah.
So what's it called? So there was this guy that commented under my last harem. I made a video today called my harem's tier list, right? And somebody commented, "Oh, you put High School DD on as a C," and I'm not sure if you ever watched Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Most likely not. But I put that as a C too, and like, "Oh, you put High School DD and Chivalry as a C." I'm like, "Yeah, because they're overrated as animes, and like I can name 5 other anime that's just like it." And first of all, High School DD. Don't let me get started on how overrated that anime is, because Rias has like the biggest tits you can possibly fucking see in the anime. It's so infuriating because people just get blinded by the characters and not by the plot.
Right.
Like I look at plot. I don't look at the way characters are. Like, in the way I differentiate a good anime. Like, for example, I know you guys haven't seen School Days, and I mentioned this in the last podcast. School Days, like, some characters can just ruin. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some characters can ruin a whole anime for me. Like,
is that the main character one?
Yeah.
He's just a complete dick.
He's like I don't want to spoil anything for you guys.
Complete Chad.
He's worse than the Chad. Like, he cheats on girls, and then, you know, the last episode is the most
Oh yeah,
I
remember.
it's the most what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's a relieving feeling, you know. It's an uplifting feeling because, you know, damn, this finally happened, man. But it's like the certain animes can ruin the whole anime. Like, for example, have you watched Future Diary?
No. Like I haven't seen a lot of like what would
Yeah.
that be? Would that be considered slice of life?
No, it would be considered as a horror.
Oh, okay.
Would
Well, I
you
do like horror, but no, I haven't seen that.
Horror, that it's hard to really pinpoint what you
Yeah,
would,
what was
but I'd say
fan-
it's
fantasy
romance sort of.
Like a romance horror kind of.
Very bad horror romance.
thriller? Yeah, it's like
Okay.
thriller, romance, and things like that.
With it, like that's what I would describe it. And I mean, I don't mean like the anime is bad. I actually personally think it's so bad. I don't remember if you didn't like it or who didn't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty solid show. I actually like
Yeah,
it.
but yeah, it's a good, it's okay show, but this Yuna, I hated Yuna so much. It's the way they built her character. It's like, sometimes like I wish I was the guy in the anime, and I would just like take her out with my own hands. That's how infuriating.
Feel that bitch. Like, and what made me mad is why does he keep fucking trusting her? Why is he
Exactly, like
the most fucking crazy, untrustworthy bitch in the world? And she's proven that I can count on my hands and toes throughout like maybe 10 episodes. Like, it's just so bad.
What did you say it was called?
it's Future Diary or Mirai Nikki. Like
I'll write it down here. Maybe I'll check it out.
you're gonna end that anime with a bald fist.
I already have one going into it. So. Well, on another note, what would you choose for your favorite anime intro of all time?
Intro.
Yeah.
I was thinking about asking this question for you guys. So my favorite anime opening. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
Like song intro kind of,
Have you guys watched Durarara?
Oh, that's a good draw.
Like the second one, I absolutely love the second opening, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's opening, the first one. Those two are
the original one or
no, the Brotherhood. You gotta see the Brotherhood one.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that too. I'm just gonna do it, or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it'll become a thing.
Just the one guy that has not watched.
Yeah, I think was it Gigik? I don't think
he hasn't watched it because
I don't think he's seen either.
It's a must.
What about you, Eric? What would you say is your favorite?
Mine is a tie. Mine is a tie between the Beastars opening intro, because I love stop motion, and I think I really like that song and that groove. And that music, you can take that opening intro music, and put it over every JoJo's opening intro, and it works. Like, you can pull it online. I think it works actually better than any of the JoJo's intros for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is a funny other loophole of memes combined with that too, especially if you read the manga. But that and Death Note's opening and second opening intro with the death metal band, those are my two favorite opening intros of all time.
Okay.
There's a tie between those two.
Right.
Have you guys ever watched Dead Man's Wonderland?
Yeah.
I think Dead Man's Wonderland's opening was actually pretty solid. Like
Right.
if you like metal and you like rock, I think
that was a good one too.
Yeah. That anime just kind of disappointed me. It had so much hype. I thought it was gonna be so good, and then it just let me down.
Honestly,
that's all I can say.
like the concept was good. The concept was cool. Being able to transform.
Yeah. The blood. Yeah.
But
I would say my favorite intro. I mean, this one's probably pretty common, but the Cowboy Bebop intro is phenomenal.
classic.
Samurai
Champloo too.
Samurai Champloo as well, yeah. But my favorite, like, not just for like the song or anything, but like the whole like feel of the intro, as once the Chimera Ant arc started, like that switch from like the Hunter x Hunter like intro, and then as soon as it started the Chimera Ant arc, I remember like it was at like 2 a.m. and I was watching it, and it's kind of creepy. It's very eerie. It's just like all these ants, and it's super dark, and they come up out of nowhere.
I don't think I remember it.
You have to look it up. It's pretty eerie.
No, for that case, for eerie, I would have to go with Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That one was it's goosebumps chilling. Like waking up to that, I loved it. Honestly, like I can look it up right now and still listen to it the same way I did as a kid.
Okay.
But I was about to ask a question. Damn. God, had a brain fart.
Well,
I'm
since
sorry.
I mentioned Hunter x Hunter, I got a question to ask you guys.
Okay.
So, have you guys read or seen the Hisoka background, like the one-off story that's kind of like about him when he was younger?
No.
Well, I looked at it, read it over the weekend, last weekend after we did the podcast. It's actually by the creator of Tokyo Ghoul. Is it like Ishida or something like
I
that?
know who you're talking about. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. So he created, like, Togashi gave him the okay to like create the backstory. I don't know if they collabed on it, but he did all the art and everything. So I was thinking, since Togashi is like hiatus right now, that maybe he could just do the story, like the background, the dialogue, everything, and then Ishida could do the artwork potentially. I don't know. I was thinking that could be a way that Hunter x Hunter could get completed, because at this rate it may never.
It
I don't know
most
if you
likely
guys have any
won't.
thoughts on that.
It most likely won't get completed.
Mm.
But go
Tokyo
ahead.
Ghoul has a cool art style. I mean, I haven't finished the manga. The first season of the anime I thought was pretty good. It kind of went downhill from there, in my opinion. But the manga, the artwork is really good.
The manga does it justice. I first started watching Tokyo Ghoul, and I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good show. You know, it's getting there. And then after the second, I was kind of like,
Right.
yeah, sort of like, yeah. And I thought it was cool. Some other people I showed it to just fucking hated it. And
Yeah.
I picked up the manga because all these YouTube videos were like just shitting on it, being like, watch the fucking read the manga. And then I'm like, I read the manga, and I'm like, this is way more freaking metal. Like I thought like the anime was like, you know, had its violent moments, but I'm like the manga, I'm like, this is like way more brutal and just way better done. And there's one thing they did and see at the end of season one, the whole torture, they nerfed the castration. They nerfed it. They didn't show that Kaneki got his freaking junk caught off.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
It was heavily implied in the manga because it was showing how, you know, like he would just cut off Kaneki's limbs. It was showing his genital area that he was cutting off his genitals and like
Jesus.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's gory as hell.
They nerfed in the anime. They nerfed, and
I'm not surprised.
I'm gonna say right here, it's just gonna be fucking. This is too much of a spoiler. I can't. No, it wouldn't be too much of a spoiler.
We'll put a warning up. Yeah.
Tokyo's pretty old, to be fair.
Yeah.
Spoiler, but Beastars season 2, don't fucking nerf the castration scene. If you fucking do that, yeah, the show gets way more fucked up. But like, yeah, if you nerf the castration scene, I swear to God, like, if you nerf it a lot from the first season and from the manga, like, if you nerf that, I will be so freaking disappointed because you'll totally be pulling a Tokyo Ghoul right there.
Right.
It's something that's supposed to be way more extreme and then just nerf the hell out of it. When your show already has like a freaking TV MA rating and it's on Netflix, you can already say fuck you want. So
being on Netflix, I think that they could get away with more. Honestly.
Yeah. Have you watched Dodahedro? Dodoro, or how the hell you say it?
I need
Dorohedro or something like that.
I have to start it.
I haven't seen that. No, I keep scrolling by it and I plan on starting it, but I haven't yet.
2 fat thumbs up. That is amazing show. Like I give it like an 8.8, 8.7, like really high up there. And there's only one season too, but it's spectacular. There's a lot.
Is it like one season and done, or is it just there's only gonna be one season, or are they planning on more?
There's a manga that goes on, but there's just release, and it's a CG. And it's really good for a CG. I think that.
See, that's why I didn't start it.
That's the CGI.
The thing is, though, CG animes have been stepping their game up recently. Like, they used to be so much worse, but CG animes are stepping their, like, Dodahedro, Beastars, those don't look bad. Like, those animes.
What, I didn't even know Beastar was CG.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first, like, kind of, I guess, would you consider it would be like a furry anime, right? Yeah, that's my first one I've ever seen. I loved it.
I gotta watch Beastars.
Yeah, it was I didn't know what to expect going into it. I was like, I've never seen anything like this. I don't think it's gonna be that good. And I watched it, and literally in the first episode, I was like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Manga is like 3 times better too. The manga,
really?
And it just gets better and better from there. The next arc is going to be my favorite arc, and then after that, it's just nothing but excellence. And like now we're on this latest arc, because that's a lot of what I talk about on my channel, but it just gets a lot more intense. It gets a lot more real. Like everything just goes from like here to here. Like was a total 180 on you. Like it's easily like one of my favorite mangas of all time. I put it up there next to Hunter x Hunter. It's almost like a mixture. It's like you mix Zootopia, Hunter x Hunter, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a little bit. Find it because like the story gets more complicated, more serious. It's a lot like Hunter x Hunter in a lot of ways. I guess one of the comparisons the later chapters have with just how everything, all these things happen that you weren't expecting to happen, how it carries around the story and whatnot. Okay. With kind of more like slice of life mixed in there too, but
okay,
yeah, they're very, very interesting. The manga is just spectacular. I still need to start collecting volumes. I'm waiting for the box set to come out in America.
Right, I know. I always want to watch like all your videos, but I can't listen to them because I don't want to be spoiled.
That's what it's become.
Yeah.
I gotta watch Beastars or read it even.
It's on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. Watch it on Netflix. My recommendation is my friend Johnny. Anyone who hasn't watched it yet, I just recommend read the manga first because it's just. Well, actually, no. I think you'd watch the first season first. I think the first season's a little like better because the first part was right. Like drawings have gotten significantly better. Like at first, they almost look kind of like a 70s or 80s drawing, like very unique. And then all of a sudden, like around the murder solution arc, her drawing started looking almost like Berserk. Like they start like I don't even know how she like some chapters I'm just like wow, like her drawing style just like accelerated somehow.
Really?
Okay.
I would recommend watch the first season and then
continue
how you like it. Come in with the, just come into it and then pick up the manga and start reading it because that's what I did.
That's what I've done with literally every show or every series. Really? I've never picked up a manga and started a series from the manga. I've always continued on from the anime. I don't know why. Except for Akame ga Kill. I haven't read it yet, but I randomly bought volume 1. And I was like, well, I'll check it out.
I hated Akame ga Kill.
It's not good.
It's not that it's not good. It's just the ending, and it's just the way they. So you haven't seen it? You haven't read it?
I haven't even started. No, I literally just picked up the first volume. I was like, oh, this looks cool. I'm judging it by its cover.
People hate on me for my opinion on Akame ga Kill. It's like the action stuff is cool. It's just what they do with the characters is
fucking trash.
Really?
It's like why?
Did you read it or watch it?
For me, I watched it.
I watched it. Okay.
It's
or maybe I'll watch it before the next podcast.
This is really funny because I actually have another podcast that I do called Overly Immersed Podcast, and we were just talking about Akame ga Kill, and we were shitting on it there too.
Really?
Like 3 days ago.
I'm gonna come in and be like, well, I actually liked it.
Like I had this one video I made. I think what was it? I forgot what the video was. Oh, my top 100 anime, and I put like Akame ga Kill like 60 or 50, and they're like, "Oh, you put Akame ga Kill that low? Your opinion is shit." I'm like,
people are opinionated.
It's such an overrated anime, man. It's just, honestly such an.
I don't take anyone's opinions to heart because there's shows that I love. I mean, I really hold dear to my heart, and then there's people who are just like, dude, that's fucking shit. I fucking hate that. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in the world. Like, get this fucking furry garbage out of here and shit like that. And I'm just like, whatever, man. I like it, and I know thousands of other people who love it too. So
I know there's hundreds of people that like my videos, and some don't, man. It's like,
yeah.
Some gonna hate, some gonna love. You can't do anything about that.
Since Eric, you mentioned Berserk, have you guys both seen it?
I've tried watching the anime, and I just cannot.
You couldn't do it?
I couldn't.
The original or the CGI?
The CGI.
Well, you got to watch the original. That's where,
Okay.
The 1997 version is phenomenal.
Okay. I'll watch this. I'll watch the original.
You should definitely watch it so we can talk about it in a podcast.
No, definitely. It's from the same people who made the original Pokemon.
Is it really? Really? Wow.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Because Pokemon animators now are shit. I'm not even gonna get started on that. They made Ash look like a fucking, I don't know. His face is like, oh man. What is 2020 coming to? That's all I gotta say. But man, so
what's up?
going back to Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul. Okay.
Yeah. So you said something about season 2, and I was like, honestly, I feel like people shit on season 2 for like the wrong reasons. I feel like the ending of season 2 was honestly really really solid compared to like the way it went through, like continued throughout the season, like and I love the ending and how Kaneki was carrying Hide, under the blanket, and I'm just like, I have a whole
Oh yeah.
right here of Kaneki, and I think I redrew, like I drew it in my own way for my drawing final project, and it got me turn my B plus to an A. So I mean,
There you go.
so I mean, I feel like that's the iconic scene of the second season of Tokyo.
Right. Definitely. My opinion on it is, since I picked up the manga, I can't get on animes. Like, this is how I am. There's an anime that I like or I'm like cool with or whatever, and I read the manga, and the manga is just that much better, or the manga is that much different. I just can't even comment on the anime anymore. Like,
Right.
the anime is just that much better in my opinion. I can't even like really give opinions on it. It doesn't. I can't even like look at it the same way. Like, even with animes that are really good, that have mangas that are like better, but the anime is still really good. I can't go back and like really give an opinion on it or watch it again just because the manga is like so engraved into me. That's like how it is with like Beastar season 1. I'm like, there's too much in the manga that was done better that I can't really go back and watch it because I'm like, the manga is just so invested in my head and like everything.
Right.
I'll still like, I mean, if there's new content season 2, I'll binge the fuck out of it. But like, at this point, I'm like, I'm so invested in the manga, and the manga is like so engraved. And the same with like Tokyo Ghoul, especially from like that point on, like I can't even really give an opinion on it. I mean, just the more I think about it now, I'm like, I read the manga, so now it's just more anticlimactic than I remember.
Right. That's kind of like me and Demon Slayer, because I loved the first season, and then I started reading the manga, and I finished the whole entire series in the manga, and the manga is phenomenal. I love her art style. It's
except
so
for
good.
the ending.
The ending was kind of rushed, but overall I'm happy with the entirety of the series, in my opinion.
I can't wait for the movie, honestly. I cannot.
Yeah. It's my first series where I finished it all reading it, and now I'm going to go back and watch it. So I'm going to say I've never experienced
what you need to you know what you need to watch and read? Domestic Girlfriend. Like,
Domestic Girlfriend.
It's not for I'm not gonna say it's for everybody, but if you love dramas and things like that, and like toxic anime and things that go on in like anime, I absolutely love it. Like, it didn't end the way I wanted to. Like, the ship that I wanted didn't happen, in the end. But it's like, it's so drama filled, and so like the relationships are just so toxic. Things that happen, it's just like,
I used to not be into that like slice of life or like drama or anything like that, but like every last like year and a half, like I've just like, ooh man, I've grown a real loving towards it, because I used to be just only purely into action anime.
Yeah,
same. That's where I'm at right now.
you gotta spread your wings, man.
I've tried some. I just haven't found one that's done it for me yet.
Good blend, like a good blend of all three of those things. That's why I like Beastar so much. Like, that's like the blend for me, the perfect blend of slice of action and romance, like combined into both. Like, it needs to like be. That's how it is for me. Like, if even like shoujos, I can't watch most shoujos or do that because they're just way too freaking corny. But
except for Fruits Basket, I enjoy Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket is like, if you can do it like that, because that show has enough suspense, enough drama, enough things. It doesn't need people like fighting to keep it interesting. Like, if you can do it like that, that's another fine example of slice of life that has enough like action in it to keep you entertained. Like,
I feel like
right.
a good slice of life or a good drama doesn't need action. Like, it should be able to just, stand on its own. Like, for example, Clannad. Clannad doesn't have it has like some like, not fighting scenes, but like school fight scenes, things like that. But it doesn't have like, a single like blood and things like that being shed. But there is sorrow and things like that does happen in the anime. That makes you.
That's where the action lies, in my opinion. That was more of the drama, I guess, or the drama. Character, because that stuff can be more impactful than like people just getting killed or just getting or some shit, or
Yeah, like for instance, I mean, I personally I'm into like the action and like I like dark and gore and whatnot,
Mhm.
but like actually I guess this isn't really different. I was gonna say you haven't seen Berserk yet, but for Eric, he would know like the what happens to Griffith.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, like that was one of the most impactful things for me. It's like, you know,
Mhm.
not technically it wasn't like a fight or anything, but like something that significant happening to a main character was just
So
I
it's kind of like, Alphonse and Edward, trying to
right.
bring back their, like doing the
Exactly.
transmutation circle.
Something like that. You know, like I love a show that isn't afraid to do that to
Oh,
a
yeah.
main character.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie, that scene with Ed and Alphonse, you know,
Hmm.
like, it's a called in what's it called? Edward trying to bring back Alphonse too after Alphonse, losing his body. He's like, not my brother, don't take my brother
Right.
too. That was like, oh my gosh.
Right. Yeah. Those emotional moments are those are
Berserk
my favorite.
takes that to like a whole new level because
Right.
not just with Griffith, it's one of those moments where with what happened to Griffith, because Griffith becomes a very hateable character, but at the
Right.
same time, like it creates this huge moral question because
Hmm.
what happened to Griffith is so. Imagine if that happened to you
I know, yeah. Or your like best friend, you know?
like that, like, and yeah, what he did was fucked up, but at the same time, it's like Matt, look what he went through and everything else that happened to him and everything else, like everything following up to it. Like that's why the
Right.
whole did nothing wrong meme came to be. Like
Right, right, yeah.
you have to really think of it through his point of view.
His perspective, yeah.
What would you do if that happened to you, or what would your friend do if that happened to them?
Exactly, yeah.
Like
I think we have to have Noel watch that for
no,
next podcast. It's only like 25 episodes, so
Okay, I will grind the anime then.
yeah, I think you got it, man. It's one of the classics, you know. You have to
Okay.
have that under you.
1997 one. Is there any streaming app that it's on that you guys know of, or
It's all on YouTube. That's where I watched it.
YouTube?
well, it's on YouTube, but try Kiss Anime too. You can watch
Yeah.
Okay.
it for
Kiss
free.
Anime's still working though. Like, cause I know they switch it. Like, they keep changing the domain name for Kiss Anime and stuff.
Go Anime too or Anime 9. Those are other websites you can use. But
Right.
Okay.
I actually have a proposition for you guys both. We should all recommend each other animes to watch.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Talk
Okay.
about it on the next podcast so we kind of have like homework.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
So you guys are. It seems that you guys are both recommending me Berserk to watch, the classic
Yeah.
Berserk.
That's mostly his recommendation. How about we
Okay.
all do a like should all do one of each?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Berserk. I'm gonna rewatch it too, probably
okay.
because I haven't seen it in a while.
So for me, I recommend Clannad for both of you. For both
Okay.
you guys.
Is it well that one is it 2 seasons?
Yeah. It's like yeah, it's 2 seasons.
Okay. I may not be able to finish all of it by next Thursday.
Okay.
I'll try.
Yes. I mean, in my opinion, I think you're gonna love it. And everybody I know loves it in the end.
Okay.
So I can save that.
Wait,
Which one?
send it to you.
Yeah, because or just send me the name because I cannot
Okay. Okay. I'll do that right now then.
for the life of me. Okay, so that's your.
And then-
You got Berserk, Kanan, or I would say it. I recommend that you guys watch B&A on Netflix.
BNA.
Okay.
It's only 12 episodes, and it's a trigger anime by people like Gurren Lagann or Phil. It's like it's kind of like a furry version of that, but it's like super fucking cool. I have like the wolf dude over there, and I have a poster up on there of it. Really
Okay.
good to go. It's only 12 episodes.
Well, that's better. Yeah.
So-
Easy to do that. Yeah.
Very-
That's my homework for you guys, and I will watch your show, Noel.
Mhm. Do you have an
Okay.
anime that you want to recommend to Eric Connor, or because you only recommended me?
I think those are good for now because
Okay.
yeah. That'll be a good video to talk about all those three, and then we can do it again next time.
Okay. Berserk and BNA. All right. Can you send them in the group chat?
Yeah. I'll send those in the chat
All right.
after.
All right.
I think getting back to Deadly Sins on one last thing before we end this.
So
How trash was the dub? Because I tried to watch the dub for a little bit. It was so bad.
nah, it's like one of those typical dubs that you just cannot watch. Like,
Yeah, dude. It was so like
yeah.
I like was it Bryce Papenbrook, I think it is, does Meliodas. He does other things that I thought were pretty good, like Aaron Yeager. I mean, I like to watch shows both in sub and dub and compare them. But dude, he does Meliodas and Zeldris, and I couldn't. It was.
You know,
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
sometimes I feel like sometimes it's not the voice actor's fault. It's the like it's the production.
The way they want it. Yeah.
Yeah, the way they want it, because it's like it's the way they for example, it's the way they translate the dubbed, and it's just
Right.
like sometimes they just don't translate it in the
Yeah.
correct way. It just ruins the whole feeling of the anime.
Oh yeah.
I have also think about Seven Deadly Sins. So, Fairy Tale or Seven Deadly Sins? What do you prefer?
Oh, I
Hated Fairy Tail.
hate Fairy Tale.
You know, I actually didn't mind Fairy Tail. Like the final season was my favorite season in Fairy Tail. Like they executed that season perfectly.
I dropped it in the final season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I dropped it with like 10 episodes left.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right here. I've multiple videos I've made that have shit on Fairy Tale. Like I have videos where I've mentioned how much I even another podcast. Like I might
Man.
shit on it like way too hard. Like I like went way too salty on
Dude, you got your there's some people that love Fairy Tale out there.
I don't wouldn't say I love it. It's just like I enjoyed watching it. The second half of Fairy Tail. The first half I really didn't like.
To be honest, I actually liked the beginning part of it because I thought it was setting up okay. But then, like, I think right when they brought like Elfman's sister, I don't even remember her name, but when they brought her back from the dead and made her like, this character, when they gave her all this backstory, trying to make her sound like she was special or she was something to Natsu, and that she was like Natsu's love interest, and she comes back and she's like, oh yeah, well no, and she just doesn't do anything. I'm like, what was the point of even bringing her back?
Yeah,
like,
I felt like that was unnecessary too.
All your show had going for it, like.
But I would say my favorite arc in Fairy Tail would either have to be the Dark Guilds, like when they like all of the different guilds,
right?
And even though you don't like it, kind of the final arc, because I just feel like what's his name, Natsu's brother. I feel like the fact that he was his older brother, and they like Natsu was becoming a demon, and he didn't know whether he was a dragon or a demon. I felt like that was cool in my opinion.
Sure. Say that to intervene a little about the final arc of Fairy Tale, Sting's fight, Sting and whatever the other.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you right here the reason why I don't like Fairy Tale. It's because the Spriggan 12 were they were the biggest letdown I've ever seen. They were a bigger letdown than the guy from Spy Kids 3D. I mean,
they made it so
how hyped. They hyped him up so much.
Yeah.
The first dude was so powerful and couldn't even take him, and like all of a sudden they just make them look like little bitches.
Yeah, they all just like dude, like that was just I don't know if it was rushing or what it was, but it just was the biggest letdown ever.
The biggest plot armor out of almost any anime I've ever seen. Like,
yeah,
so strong in that show. Like,
right. And then Ezra, I mean, I don't want to spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't know, but Ezra fighting her mom, like it's supposed to be considered like on par with what I don't even know what's the Calamity guy's name, whatever his name was. Those two were supposed to be more powerful than anybody, and then she just like plot armors the crap out of her mom and wins.
I didn't like Ursa's mom at all. Like she pissed me off. Like what was her? What was she known as? A Scarlet Witch or something like that?
I think I don't remember.
I wanted her to just get killed off.
Yeah, she was a dragon, right? Wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
I mean, I don't know if you remember, but all the dragons, literally, you couldn't scratch them back in the last season, and now Ursa can beat a dragon on herself, like all alone.
Yeah, I don't know. That's true. Well, you got to realize Natsu. Not Natsu's a dragon. He's not a dragon. He's a what do they call it?
EMD or whatever.
It doesn't feel like they work that hard to get that strong. They just miraculously get stronger.
Exactly. They Dragon Ball Z'd it. Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Really strong out of nowhere, but at least in Dragon Ball Z they train. Like they stay in training and shit. Like they work.
Right.
That's true.
Fairy Tail, it's like, oh shit, like I got my ass kicked. Next fight, oh fuck, I'm like 5 times stronger now, and they're weaker than me all of a sudden.
Yeah. But you got to realize Natsu did go on, and if he did go on a training trip with Happy after the season.
But then fights happen, like he'd still get his ass kicked, and then would still somehow get stronger each time, and not just him, like all the other Urza too.
Yeah, yeah. Urza, I mean, her mom whooped her ass, and then all she did was change her armor, and then she wins. Yeah.
I didn't like Urza as a character. I feel like her
Well, actually, I guess technically she didn't even change her armor. Didn't she just basically take it off and get a big sword? You're like, I'm gonna lose this, and
I
now I
didn't really
win.
like Urza's character. Like it's just like
Yeah.
these all they did was just plop a whole bunch of different outfits on her and
Right. Yeah.
call it a day. Natsu, I enjoy Natsu as a character. I like Natsu's character development. Like you learn a lot about his backstory. You learn who he really is.
Mm,
You know, like I don't know. I just feel like concept of Natsu
right.
is pretty cool. But the side characters they put no effort into. Like Gray.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like the most bland side characters, and then just brought characters and tried to make you love them. Like,
Yeah.
such
Yeah.
a,
Yeah. I agree.
I used to
But
like it at one point. Like when I first watched it, I used to like it a lot, and then like I kind of started just thinking more to myself, and I started watching like more thought provoking anime, and then like
Right.
I just kind of came to the conclusion. I'm like, yeah, this is trash. It's kind of
This
like
is
how I came to the conclusion.
trash.
Yeah, like I didn't think I people love that I didn't like.
Right. Yeah. I need plot. I need plot.
yeah,
Plot. That's
I
my
need
main.
plot is the key.
like I
Yeah.
need something of substance.
Hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
I respect you guys' opinion. I mean, I make sense. It's just, I mean, it was just like one of those anime that you just watch just for like pure
Yeah.
entertainment purposes.
It
You know?
was a good background show. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It was one of those animes I ended up being on my phone a lot of it. But I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about today?
I think we got a good amount
Oh
today.
yeah, I think this is a solid one. Hopefully the recording ends up a little better than the last time. Sorry
Definitely.
guys.
Last one. I'm so sorry about the last one, guys. Please forgive me.
Check out the recording on this and see how the quality is on my
Yeah.
computer. This is my first time recording on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
actually think
learned
it's
it too. So
pretty cool that Zoom has a in a built-in recording
right,
a feature rather
Zoom
than
is
Discord.
nice. Yeah,
Like Discord just made it so complicated for me. I had to get a whole bot to record
right.
the audio, and I had to get like
Yeah, Bot Clyde really let us down last time.
no actually no the audio was pretty good in the
Just the
last video.
video. Yeah.
This is the video because I use OBS for my my live streams and stuff like that. And
Okay. Yeah, I
yeah
was gonna say your connection seems a lot better this
Yeah.
time.
yeah I just think the fact that screen recording Discord and video chatting on Discord
Mm,
took up all of my CPU, even though like
right.
I have a GTX GeForce graphics card and I have
Right.
a 16 gigabyte RAM. It's like it just ran my computer up so much, and I don't understand
Mm,
why.
yeah.
Like, but it's just that because that doesn't usually happen to me. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
But like you guys are actually moving this time.
Yeah.
It's not laggy. And I just think it's honestly, I think partially it's Discord's fault too, because
Yeah.
Discord's video chat is kind of like
Yeah.
faulty.
Discord.
Yeah, fuck you, Discord. Yeah, but yeah. So I think it took like what 4 tries,
Yeah.
three tries.
Yeah, but we figured it out. You just have to be in the app,
Yeah, yeah. See,
which I was not.
you were the guilty
I
one.
was guilty this time. Yeah.
But yeah, so this was a solid episode,
Right.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this fun podcast between my two fellow weebs.
Mhm.
Just some weebs, episode 2, man. More to come, more to come.
Right. Right.
Are you guys posting the episode on your channel too, or you guys just
I'm just gonna post highlights on mine.
highlights? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric? Just highlights?
I'll probably just post the whole episode, or maybe
Okay.
I might compile it. I'm not sure yet, but
Okay.
I'll go check it out later tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all have our own recordings. I'm definitely editing it, posting it on mine. I'll definitely put you guys' channels in the description down below.
Right.
So like, I guess that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna throw my intro and outro into it just because it's a podcast. Why are you gonna
Right.
put it? Why should I?
Up to you.
But yeah, so this was fun. This was fun, guys. So you
Right.
guys want to say your farewells?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Peace out, y'all.
Oh.